Alright, our needle is down. The thread will hook on there and get pulled around to the right until it lets go. Hook, pull to the right. Alright, now let's see it with the bobbin. The bobbin goes inside of here. The thread comes out through that crack. You place the bobbin down here. And now the thread is just hanging out. The bobbin itself is inside of here. The thread comes forward. And you'll see the needle pokes down. Okay, now we'll add the spool thread. We're going to go around the loop, through there, down to this coil. It's a spring. You can see the spring over here, the catch where it hooks on, and this controls the tension. Then we're going to come up through here to make it go straight. It's going to go into that little hole right there, down again through just a loop to make it straight, through another, let's see if I can get a good angle on that, another little thing to hold it straight, and down here to the needle. Now let's see if I can do that all with one hand. The hardest part is watching the camera and making sure that I don't put you guys out of focus while I'm trying to do this difficult task one-handed. Just let it push itself through there. Sorry, I gotta switch hands. Okay, pulling down, hooking that in, there, hooking it in this, and then threading the needle. Alright, now let's see the magic happen. This thread is going to come down here. It's going to get caught on this hook. It's going to grab a hold of this string, which I'm actually going to hold on to and keep tight the very first time so that it doesn't just slip out of the loop. And then I will allow the upper thread, the dark thread, to pull the yellow thread up through the hole and twist itself. So here we go. Here comes the needle. Now it's grabbed back here. You can see that dark thread has got caught. It's being pulled back around. Let's see if I can catch it. You see it down here? So skinny, it's hard to see. Here we go. There's the needle. The thread has gotten caught. It's being pulled around. Can you see it? At the about the 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. There you go. And now it let go of that black thread, but I'm pulling the needle back up. So the needle tightens that black thread around the yellow one. and pulls it on up. And I can just pull on the end of it, and it has pulled the yellow thread up. And I'll do that a couple more times. Okay guys, I've got the bobbin thread pulled up, I've got the black thread threaded, and I'm holding on to both of them so that they don't pull themselves into the bobbin area. That would be a disaster. So now I'm going to allow the needle to come down. You can see it right there. Now the thread gets caught. The catcher turns back around. As you watch, you'll see the black thread pop off of the catcher. In front, there it goes. There it is, and going across the bobbin. As I pull the needle up, it tightens the black thread. Now the loop of the black thread is going to pull the bobbin thread up and hook it around. Because it pulled it up by going all the way around it, it formed a loop around the yellow. There it is. The thread comes around, grabs the yellow thread and pulls it up out of the fabric. Around. One more time. There's your black thread coming across the bobbin and grabbing the loop. And the product here is that the, let's see if I can focus on it. Let me see if I can get you one coming up out of there. So I put it down in. It pulls the yellow thread up and it's twisted around. Now usually there's a piece of fabric in between there. I suppose I could do that for you too, but you can see that it's well twisted. Each time it turns itself over 360 degrees so that the black thread is always coming from the top. Okay guys, let's see it all together one more time. The needle comes down, the black thread comes around, you can see it crossing over the bobbin, it pulls the yellow thread up, and it pulls the yellow thread just far enough to pull it through the hole that it has punched in the fabric. Okay, I'm going to do that 5 or 6 times. And normally the machine would be helping me by moving the fabric forward, but it's not doing that today. Alright. And I will make it go up. And now I can pull the fabric out. Okay, so you are able to see that my tension on my machine is bad for this fabric, but you can see that the black thread has tightened up so much that it has pulled the yellow ones through in the place where it crosses over. On the other hand, the black thread really can't be seen on the back because it's pulling the yellow one through upwards through the hole. If my balance was better, you'd be able to see just a teeny tiny smidge of the black. It's not super bad, but there you go. Alright, so you can see that black thread. There's the beginning of a stitch, the hole punched through. The yellow thread goes all across here, and then it's pulled upward through the hole, looped around the black one, and goes back down the same. It didn't actually go back down. Actually, a loop of it was pulled through the hole. There we go. Now you can see one of the loops that the black thread has pulled up all the way through the fabric. When I pull the end of the thread, it makes the yellow the yellow thread come even farther out through the hole. But that's only if the black thread is too tight. If the yellow thread is equally tight, then they'll be even. I've just pulled the yellow thread, and now you can see that there's a loop of the black sticking through the opposite side, because I straightened out the yellow, increased the pull, the tension, and now the black is looping through the other side. And I can just keep doing that back and forth all day on this last end loop, because it's an even twist. So right now you can see what the black and yellow thread have done. They've crossed over each other twice to return back to their original positions. Well, they didn't return, but the black went around it twice and the yellow kind of sat still. There it is again. It went around so that the black stays on top and the yellow stays on the bottom. And if my fingers were a piece of fabric, this would actually, it would be a lot tighter, and I wouldn't be able to move them around. It would hold it very tightly together. That's how it holds the two pieces of fabric together.